Sheen Shot.
Yeah, boy.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Sheen Shots channel. Today, we're taking a look at the top 5 spears in Outward. Spears do not get as much love in this game compared to what they deserve. They have the longest range of any melee weapon, and have some really nice combo attacks that let you jump in and out of enemy reach almost immediately after doing damage. I never gave them much thought until lately, but they are well worth trying a new build for. But which spear should you go for? The best spear is not all that easy to get and only usable in like one build, but nearly uncontested as the strongest spear in Outward. So let's get into it and check out the top 5 spears Outward has to offer. Starting out at number 5, we have the Horror Spear. This guy has nice physical damage, but also deals decay while poisoning the opponent. It is never a bad option as the attack speed is decent, and I personally think it is the best looking horror weapon. You can get it quite early on in the game as it requires crafting a fang weapon and then killing a shell horror for chitin. You can do this without any combat at all at the Cabal Wind Temple. And there's just something about the eyeball looking thing near the end of it that makes it look real mean. You can take down nearly anything as it inflicts extreme poison, which is useful against several enemies in Caldera. You could use this in a high physical damage build as well, or just go with the poison build. I mostly think it deserves a spot on this list for how easy it is to get. You could take it right up to end game, and it's reachable in probably the first 30 minutes of gameplay if you head straight for the items required to craft it. Never underestimate the power of horror weapons, and the spear appeals to me the most. It looks mean, offers good damage, and deals extreme poison, which can't be overlooked. Maybe not the best spear in Outward, but certainly one that could be useful. The number 4 spear in Outward is Old Legion Spear. You can get it by letting Cierzo get destroyed and then coming back there for revenge, or just go loot ornate chests in the Abrasar Desert. Taking a look at the stats doesn't show you the true potential of this weapon, as it only does physical damage and has a slow attack speed. The true power of this pokey stick is its length. It is said to be the longest weapon in the entire game, allowing you to deal damage from a safe distance. You could always get around that slow attack speed with Wind Infuse, and don't forget it will deal enough impact to be pretty strong. Enemies that try to back up a lot can't seem to disengage from the Old Legion's reach, and using the probe skill from the Speedster skill tree with this is kind of unfair. Even after all that, it can be enchanted with War Memento to deal fire damage and inflict Curse and Scorched. These two hexes both deal damage over time when activated with Torment, and now you have a really good hex build with spear combat as the main focus. The Old Legion Spear might not look like much at first glance, but it definitely deserves the 4th spot on this list, and is a weapon you should try to stash away if you ever get it. The 3rd best spear in Outward has to be Brigmerk Karmerk, or however you say this word. It is a boss item that must be crafted using materials from unique arena bosses. I originally didn't think much of this hefty gal, but she is a beauty. 54 physical damage with around 10 ethereal damage added on top. It has a nice impact and looks pretty unique as far as spears go. The best feature of this spear has to be its attack speed though. It's extremely fast, and with the range spears offer, it is so easy to knock enemies down. Golems can suck to fight because they're so fast, and using this weapon gives you the advantage as Ethereal is a beast in Outward. Also, you can use certain armor and items in the game to increase your damage very high with this spear. I would use this over the Sar Spear. The Sar one deals a lot of physical damage, but is really slow. The speed on this Trog Spear makes it what it is, and you can get a lot of use out of it. Not one of the easier weapons to get in the game, as you need Gep's Generosity, Scourge Tears, Haunted Memory, and Calix's Relic to craft it. But once you finally have your hands on it, you have to at least try it out. The low amount of ethereal damage seems odd, but I think that is there because of how fast the weapon is, and, amazing range. In fact, the Sar Spear is the only spear in Outward to have more physical damage than what I will call the Trog Spear. So it's kind of a powerhouse of damage, which makes it amazing in combat, and certainly deserving of 3rd place on this list. The second strongest spear in Outward is the Whirlig Spear. This should come to no surprise to those of you who have seen my bow build stream, as I use the Whirlig Spear as backup, and the amount of lightning damage you can get with it is pretty crazy. It also gets bonus points for backstory and design. The description states, it is an artifact of the Cabal of Winds, forged to slay horrors. Look closely enough to the spear and you can actually see chinks in the metal. This is some pretty nice detail and shows that it has been through some stuff. Probably one of the more legend-based weapons in the game, as we know very little about the Cabal of Winds, and whoever crafted this thing must have been pretty powerful. The Whirlig also has some cool lightning effects coming off of it, and overall is just a super cool looking weapon. Getting it is not too difficult either, as you just need to kill a few golems and sneak past some more dangerous mechanical dudes. Head towards the electric lab in Abrasar Desert and get on the elevator. Then pull a lever to make the elevator go up, then get on the elevator and dodge off of it once you pull the lever again. You will jump into a kind of hidden area where you can rotate the elevator and actually get on top of the lab itself. You'll find the Whirlig Spear sticking out of a cropping of rocks where the last hero left it. The Whirlig is an amazing spear and stands out as one of the best spears lore-wise, look-wise, and damage-wise. I imagine you could create a very powerful spear build using this beast, and its attack speed brings it home, making it one of the fastest spears in Outward. Don't underestimate the Whirlig Spear, as it can do more damage than you might think, and the Scourge will not be too fond of you finding the second best spear in Outward. The single best spear in Outward has to be Shriek. If you know anything about this weapon, you can understand that there is no exception to this. It has 666 durability, which I'm sure doesn't mean anything, and looks like a very long poison-infused claw. It's tricky to get, as you'll need the Ark of Exile to be at the underside loading docks in Caldera. Enter there and you'll find a puzzle involving small diamond crystals. This unlocks the rusted spear that must be then transformed into Shriek over in the Sulfuric Caverns. Have the weapon equipped and interact with a huge statue head underneath the toxic sulfur clouds. It's best to go with full silver armor to get it and even to use it, as the nasty thing comes with a pretty big drawback. It will inflict the player with poison while you attack enemies. It's extremely powerful because it inflicts Plague, which deals 4 decay damage per second. Anything not immune to decay is drastically harmed by this, and it lasts a long time. Unfortunately, this is contagious and can spread to you and your allies. A very, very bad weapon for co-op, as you need to be immune to decay to properly utilize it, or have a large amount of status resistance. And the thing is, this won't happen all the time. You'll need to kill a lot of enemies before you get Plague on you. Except in Caldera. Just because Shriek is so darn powerful with 35 physical and decay damage. It's very much a boss-killing weapon that can only be used by certain builds. However, it is too powerful to not give it the #1 spot on this list. Go grab a set of silver armor, learn the Possessed skill, take Cabal Hermit, and then head towards the Holy Mission faction quest and wreck those enemies that have been giving you trouble. Shriek demolishes your opponents quickly, and with a good attack speed, it is the ultimate option for spear users. Also, 666 durability makes it nearly unbreakable, and your armor will be trashed long before this thing needs to be repaired. Shriek is nuts, and for that reason, it is the #1 spear in Outward. Do be aware, however, that it is very situational, and even though it is the most powerful spear, it is the least accessible. That's just how unique weapons from Caldera work, unfortunately. Thanks for watching the video, everyone. Honorable mentions go to the Masterpiece Spear and Astral Spear. The Astral Spear in particular is the fastest spear in Outward, and offers bonus fire and poison damage along with inflicting 2 hexes. It is a very good option, but only for like 2 build types. Other than that, I think this list is pretty sound. The spear weapon type is very easily overlooked, but checking out the attack combinations might win you over to their side. You can essentially use the combos to attack and then back up, avoiding damage. Add this on top of a spear's long reach, and you have a very easy strategy for winning fights with almost any enemy. Give spears a try. And when you do, check out any of the ones I mentioned in this top 5. Each is extremely unique and can be very powerful against a variety of enemies in Outward. Plus, spears have 2 of the coolest weapons in the entire game. Whirlig and Shriek are extremely unique, and just finding them is fun enough in my book. Consider commenting down below what your 5 favorite spears are, and I will catch you in the next video.